Hey, it's Aaron, and today I'm sitting in a GMC Sierra. This is the 3500. This is the dually in the rear with all of the good stuff. This is the Denali package, so this is about as good as this truck can get as far as the fitment and amenities. Wonderful, wonderful, big, heavy-duty truck. This has the 6.6 liter Duramax. Did I say that right? I did. 6.6 liter Duramax turbo diesel. This has the 10-speed Allison transmission, and it has the improved rear axle. So you have the different options for the rear axle depending on how you want to package it for what you want to do. This one has the 3.42 ratio that gives the truck itself a vehicle weight of 14,000 pounds, give or take, so that's how it's rated, which means that it has basically, as far as I know, the maximum towing for this truck. So if you're wondering what the towing is on this, I'll give you some specs. The maximum payload for this is 6,610 pounds. Maximum towing for this is 31,180. I had to check because those numbers are hard to remember. 31,180. So you're looking at, for that, a truck that will cost you, as this one is outfitted, about $80,000. That's with delivery. With scaling it back, going to a lower end model, or moving back even in the Denali package itself. So the Denali package starts at 64.5-ish, almost 65 actually. So the Denali package starts at just shy of 65,000 before delivery, and then this one has a bunch of stuff added on, like the 12 camera system for viewing beyond the trailer and so on. You can also get into a non-dually option for less than that, so you're looking at closer to 62-ish, I think, for a Sierra Denali, but with the single instead of the dualies back there. The 3500 starts in the mid-50s, somewhere in the, I believe it's 56 or 57. So you're looking, you're looking at a pretty wide range of options for this truck. Now, I've driven this truck all week. The only problem I've had with it is the weather has changed constantly, so it's been really high and then really low and then really high, and that has meant a lot of air pressure changes in the tires, so I've had an occasional tire warning light on. Rabbit just ran by. Wyoming. Anyway, that's the only issue I've had with this truck all week. Otherwise, it's been great. Huge back seat in this crew cab. Wonderful front seat here. Lots of niceties inside. I really like the way it's set up. I love GMC and Chevrolet's infotainment system. I am a big fan of the way that works, how fast it is. They have very, very good connectivity for their onboard Wi-Fi. So you have a Wi-Fi hotspot in the truck here. This has everything you could think of that would make your life easier in terms of work with this truck. So if you're working with this truck, it comes with pretty much everything that you need in packages. So it does not come standard with all of the towing gear. Those are add-ons, and you add them on according to what you're going to need. So this particular truck has the, what did they call it? There's a name for it. The Gooseneck fifth wheel package. So the Gooseneck fifth wheel package, it's fairly cheap. It's $545. It's not expensive at all. What that adds is all of the receiver setup for gooseneck and or fifth wheel. So that's the 5 holes in the bed. So you have the fifth wheel holes on the edges, also your gooseneck tie down, and then you have the gooseneck in the middle, and then the fifth wheel itself, that is separate. You usually buy those aftermarket. The Gooseneck is a hitch receiver, of course, you know, so the ball, and that is in as part of this package in a box. You have standard with this, you do have the heavy-duty bumper tow, so you do have the heavy-duty tow hitch in the back underneath that bumper. That's a large receiver, so you'll have to get a reducer if you have the smaller tongue with a standard ball. Other than that, this has towing mirrors on it. The mirrors extend out and come back in. In this package, they come out and extend in electronically, and then they manually have to fold. You can change that, of course. There are other mirror options for the side mirrors. This also has the overhead lighting, so it has the clearance lighting on top. That's, as far as I know, it is standard with the Denali, but it is not standard with the truck. Also standard with the Denali package is GMC's Multi-Pro tailgate. That Multi-Pro tailgate, you've probably seen it before. If you haven't seen it before, here's a couple photos. Aim to please. That Multi-Pro tailgate has several different ways to open. It's useful on a whole lot of fronts. You can open it, use it as a step to get in the bed instead of the bumper slots that are on the side for stepping in, which is a Chevy GMC thing. It has a handle to help you get up in. Then there is in a truck this tall, by the way, I don't care how limber and youthful you are, it is a pain to get in the bed. Sorry. It's tall. Wonderful setup. I really like the Multi-Pro tailgate. There's a lot of nice uses for it. It's less a gimmick than you would expect. So it's nicely done. I really enjoy it. I find it useful. Other things that are on this truck, this has, like I mentioned before, this has the Wi-Fi in it, so Wi-Fi hotspot. Often I have found, because I live in Wyoming, that when I go out into, you know, the Badlands, the hinterlands, whatever, I go out and I'm out trying to work, fixing the camera, and you're out trying to do stuff, you're out there, a lot of times the truck has better access to the internet than my phone does. So that's a big bonus. Nicely done on that. Also, big fan of the gauge cluster. This has the driver information screen in the center. Has a lot of useful information in it. This truck drives really well, but it is rough when it's empty. So when you're on the highway or driving around town empty, especially on the highway, it is pretty rough. Bounces a lot, feels a little bit rough, a lot of vibration. You have to, there are other trucks like the Ram that are a little better for that. But once loaded or once doing something with the truck, once you have a trailer or you have a load in the back, all that goes away. It rides wonderfully. So this is very much a truck made to work, not to just drive around in. If you go to the single axle, for this, I'm running off the top of my head using a 2500 because I have not driven a 3500 with just the regular axle in the back instead of the dualies. That bounciness goes away for the most part. So it does change according to what you're doing. Most dually trucks bounce a lot on the highway when they're empty. The only exception to that would be the Ram 3500 when it has those the load leveling airbags, because they absorb a lot in the back. So that's the only exception I know of. Other than that, it's inherent to the size of the truck and the size of that rear axle. Really good job on this truck. I like what GMC has done with it. It's a great setup, nice option, does the job really well. Very good truck. This is luxury levels of interior here, and nice electronics that seem like a gimmick until you actually use them. Then they become basically, you can't live without them anymore. So that's what I got. This has been Aaron inside the 2020 GMC Sierra 3500 with the dualies, the big Duramax diesel,